Welcome to Whatever You Need, the channel where emotion meets truth. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, like, and join our community to keep these stories alive. Because here, we don't just report, we feel. It took just one phrase to reignite a story everyone thought had ended. Halil İbrahim Ceyhan, known for his calm demeanor and measured words, broke his silence and uttered a line that froze the studio for a moment. There are many things between Sıla and me that no one knows. Those words didn't just echo through the air, they detonated across social media, setting the internet ablaze with theories, questions, and renewed hope among fans who had never stopped believing in the bond between Halil and Sıla Türkoğlu. Within minutes, hashtags like #HalilIsla and #SilentLove were trending worldwide. It wasn't just nostalgia, it was as if a sleeping story had suddenly been awakened. For months, both actors had remained discreet about their separation, avoiding direct answers. Fans speculated, the press investigated, but both sides stayed silent. Until now. When the interviewer asked Halil whether he would ever consider working with Sıla again, the actor offered a faint, mysterious smile and said, "Professionally, I never close doors. But some doors, when they close, leave an echo that's hard to forget." That echo, poetic, painful, and open-ended, instantly became the most replayed soundbite of the week. Sources close to Halil later revealed that the two still communicate, though quietly, away from cameras and public attention. One insider whispered they talk but never in public. There are things between them that even their closest friends don't fully understand. And just days before the interview, Sıla Türkoğlu herself had posted a cryptic photo on Instagram with a caption that seemed to respond directly. "Some silences speak louder than 1,000 words." Fans didn't miss the coincidence. They called it a dialogue without words, one post answering another, in the language of the heart. During the same interview, Halil was asked if he still had feelings for Sıla. His answer was calm, almost philosophical. "You can't forget someone who marked your life. But sometimes love needs distance so it doesn't fade." The studio went silent. Viewers could sense that this wasn't just another celebrity interview. It was a man revisiting a part of his past that still lived within him. Every time her name came up, he looked down, his voice softened, and once, just once, he sighed deeply before answering. The presenter pressed further, "Do you regret anything about that relationship?" Halil's response was as simple as it was profound. "I don't regret having loved. I would regret not having loved." Those words hung in the air. No one dared speak. Even the host seemed moved. It was no longer about fame or gossip, it was about truth, spoken without armor. Some stories don't need to be told. Then came the question everyone was waiting for, the rumor of a secret reconciliation. Was it true that Halil and Sıla had recently met again? Halil didn't deny it. He didn't confirm it either. Instead, he looked straight into the camera and said quietly, "Some stories don't need to be told, because they live in the heart." The phrase became immortal within minutes. It trended across Twitter, translated into multiple languages, and was quoted by every entertainment outlet imaginable. On TikTok, fans paired his words with romantic clips of the couple from their series, overlaying melancholic piano music. The comment sections filled with messages like, "This isn't acting anymore," and "He's still speaking from love." Observers of the interview noticed the smallest details, the way Halil's gaze drifted, the moment his fingers brushed against the silver pendant around his neck, the quiet hesitations between sentences. That pendant soon became a topic of its own. Fans recognized it immediately, the same pendant Sıla had gifted him during the early days of their series. When a journalist later asked him about it at a charity gala, Halil smiled gently and said, "Some things are unforgettable, even as time passes." With that, the entire internet erupted again. Was it a symbol? A memory? Or a quiet message to someone who still mattered? Whatever You Need asks you, what do you think? Can love truly fade when two people still speak to each other through silence and symbols? Leave your thoughts in the comments and let's discuss together. Only days after Halil's viral moment, reports surfaced of a private industry event in Istanbul. Several witnesses claimed both actors were present. They didn't speak much, but when their eyes met, it was enough to create tension in the room. One attendee later told reporters it was as if time stopped. No one dared interrupt them. That silent encounter sparked another storm online. Fans flooded X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram with collages of old photos, drawing parallels between their on-screen chemistry and real-life emotion. For some, that single look said more than 1,000 interviews ever could. Not all endings are the end. The next day, Sıla Türkoğlu posted an Instagram story with a calm song playing in the background and a simple line written across the screen. Not all endings are the end. Within minutes, her post went viral. Fans were convinced it was a direct reply to Halil's words. Comments flooded in. This is no coincidence. They're speaking through quotes again. If this isn't love, what is? The digital world turned into a battlefield of emotion. Half of the fans convinced they were on the verge of a reconciliation, the other half insisting that both stars were simply expressing closure. Yet beneath the noise, one truth remained. Their story continued to live, breathing quietly beneath the surface of fame. The journalist who conducted Halil's interview later revealed an unseen detail. During the breaks, he stayed silent. He wasn't distracted, he looked lost in thought, like he was remembering something deeply personal. That image, a man caught between past and present, summarized what millions felt watching him. Halil's vulnerability wasn't staged. It wasn't a performance. It was a window into the unspoken parts of love that never truly end. Even those who never followed their series found themselves moved by his sincerity. One critic wrote, "This isn't nostalgia, this is an unfinished poem." By the time the broadcast ended, the internet was already ablaze. YouTube compilations of Halil's most emotional moments accumulated millions of views in hours. Fans from different countries began translating his quotes, analyzing gestures, and even revisiting old interviews for hidden meanings. But beyond the speculation, what remained was a story about two people who once shared something too deep to fully vanish. As Halil said near the end of the program, his voice low, his eyes distant. True love doesn't disappear, it just waits for its moment to return. It was the kind of statement that doesn't demand belief, it simply invites it. And maybe that's what captivated everyone, the possibility that somewhere, between memory and fate, love might be quietly waiting for its cue. Thank you for joining us on Whatever You Need, where we look beyond headlines and find the emotion that still lingers behind every story. If this story touched you, leave a comment, like and subscribe. Your voice keeps our community alive. And tell us below. Do you believe some loves never end? Or is it better to let silence protect what words can't explain? Until next time, keep feeling, keep believing, and always seek whatever you need.